In this video, we're going to be testing out some candle shack recipes using
black cherry, coffee, mocha, and pan of chocolate.
Yeah, so using the foodie kind of fragrance oils, and also in RCX wax, which is rapeseed and coconut.
Hi, I'm Imogen and this is my dad, Allen.
You're joining us on our journey to make some cleaner burning candles that most importantly smell really good when they're lit, because we've had some candles in the past that from the shops that are just not really good smelling when they're lit and probably not the cleanest burning. So we thought, hey, why not make our own? So we're just over a month into our journey, and we started off with a whole load of different waxes, soy wax, coconut wax, different wicks. So we've done wick testing, got carried away and blended coconut and soy wax. And we had one success, didn't we? We had one really good hot throw. And that was probably down to chance and a bit of luck, really, because we've never made candles before. So we were just having a go at loads of different things. And then I thought, because ideally we want to sell the candles and have a business, teach Imogen how to run a business. So I thought, we can't just keep, and I don't know if you can see, we've got like dozens of candles behind us. I think we've made about 20, 21 now, just testing. And out of all those, we've just had one that's had a really good hot throw. So that's not really going to be a good way to carry on, because it could take us ages. And we want to be able to, ideally by the end of the year, it's 29th of June now. We started in, was it May? So just over a month in. And we'll see if towards the end of the year we can, if not sell them, at least be able to give them as presents, some really decent candles. So we can't just take too long. Anyway, in the spirit of not taking too long, this is the wax we're going to use, which is rapeseed and coconut. And so you probably know in the UK, if you're in the UK, you probably know, if you're interested in candle making, Candle Shack's one of the leading providers or suppliers of candle making stuff. And for a lot of their fragrance oils, they have what they call recipes, which are kind of tried and tested. They've done all the smoke test, everything, really thorough testing. So I thought, because we've got some of their oils, why are we guessing? Why not follow it? So far, my favourite wax, I don't know if it's your favourite wax, it has been EU 464 Golden Wax, which is a soy wax. That's given us a really nice, creamy, smooth tops, which I'll show you in a little video clip. And their recipes are either for that EU 464 wax or their RCX rapeseed and coconut wax. So I thought I'd get some of this in, because it's good to have a couple of different options in case you can't get one type of wax. And also, which one is it? Pan of Chocolat, they already say, does not work well, for whatever reason, with the EU464. So that's another reason to have a couple of different types of wax, because of that kind of thing. It might be, if the oil doesn't work with the wax, no matter how hard you try, it's never going to work. So yeah, and it won't smell. So I've got some of this in. It comes in a big block, as you can see. I think this is 900 grams. Is it 900 grams? 800 grams? 800 grams, sorry. Block like that, just to test, but they will come in bigger blocks as well when you buy in bulk. So we need to chip this. We've got a paint stripper, and if I give you a beaker...
How do you chip it?
So...
Let you?
Probably just do it from the top. And just be careful you don't chip your hand off. You just scrape it. It's nice and soft. It's a really hot day today. I don't know what's the temperature outside. It's 31 degrees outside and it's 26 in this room. So super warm. So you can scrape bits off like that. Maybe keep it on here because it's going to start melting off into everything.
It looks cool.
Yeah. So let's move these out of the way. Hang on. We need to measure. I've got my notes. We need to get our scales.
Where do we put this?
Hang on, we'll measure it into a thing. So the fragrance loading seems to be 10% for their recipes. So I'm just sticking with that. And this is another shortcut because we've been doing 8% and I thought, oh, we can try 7% and then 9% because the guidance is always like, oh, you need to start with 8 and then experiment around. And then I was like, well, success leaves clues, right? So I looked into their recipes and they're all 10%. So I think it's just no messing about. If you want really good hot fro, just bang in 10% and go from there. Right, so we need 275 grams of wax because we're going to make 3 100-gram candles. So wait a minute, if I tear that, 275 grams. Yeah, so you can whop some in, try and get it. Right, so you're going to scrape it. So yeah, if this is the first time we're meeting, we are based in Guildford in Surrey in the UK. And yeah, I thought it'd be a fun project to have a go at candle making, which I think so far has been really fun, especially when you get good hot fro. So we are busy.
Swing.
You need to get 275. So. You want help? Mm. Okay. So you can go a bit deeper in and get bigger chunks off. But it's really just mind you don't cut your wrist with that. That's it. Keep your hand away from it, and then you can't go wrong. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, we just thought we'll have a go, and it would be good to be able to kind of sell them in a business because I have a day job, but I run my kind of handmade art display business called Peggy Picks, and I think Imogen's mostly, since she's grown up, I've been doing that. So she's been interested in running her own business. I thought, well, let's have a go from scratch with candles because I think you like fragrance, don't you? You like all kind of nice smelling things. Who doesn't? And it's just an interesting project. So we'll see. Yeah, you need to really, you've got 11 grams, so you need to really get like that. Otherwise we're going to be, I think 275, this is only 800 grams, so it's going to be like a third of the block, just to give you an idea of how much. So this is the only thing I guess with this wax is you need to chip it because EU464 comes in flakes, but my favourite has been pastels. That's okay. But at the end of the day, we just want whatever wax does a good job, then it doesn't matter how it comes because it's no good having like pastels and then it doesn't work. Yeah, so we're going to come back when we're at 275 grams. We're back. We've finally got 275 grams of wax. As you can see, probably need a bigger beaker than this 500ml one, but there's a lot of airspace in there. So we're gonna melt it on this hot plate stirrer. The suggestion is to heat it to 60 degrees. So it's very, as you can see, it's very soft, right? It's kind of already melting in my hands because it's such a warm day. So I don't want to overheat it. So I'm going to put the temperature down on the hot plate to make sure it doesn't get too crazy. You have to keep an eye on that. And we will pop that on.
I'm going to collect the extra bits of wax.
Okay. And then we'll use this little thermometer to monitor the temperature. So we will get that melted down. So we need a gram scale because the next thing we're going to do is, oh look, we've got all this wax. Let's just melt it because we don't want to waste our precious wax. Okay, so we will swap over to smaller scales.
The baby scales.
The baby scales, wherever I put them.
Throw them over there, Dad.
Maybe over there. Oh, it's here. It's the problem with tidying up. You need to remember where you've tidied things to. So do you want to put a glove on or do you want me to do it? Because try not to get the fragrance oil on your hands. So we'll need to actually label. A bit of tape. So while that's melting, we can get our fragrance ready. This little beaker. Make sure it's clean. So that is, what do you want to do first, Imogen? Coffee, mocha, black cherry, or pan au chocolat?
Black cherry.
Black cherry.
I got my glasses
Oh, I hope you're not going to be splashing it everywhere.
on. Okay.
Black cherry. So we need, because it's 10% and we're doing 100 gram candles. Do you know what 10% of 100 is? 1/10 of 100.
That doesn't make sense.
All right, so 10 grams, because we're going to be nine parts wax, 1 part fragrance oil. So let's zero that and use a pipette. Give it a gentle swirl. Oh yeah, we should really describe. Get a whiff of that. What do you smell?
Sweet, like yummy, like a cherry smell.
It is definitely cherries. It's really strong. I think, but that's why we've got to put it into a candle, because it's going to smell, I think, less intense, more kind of natural. But it's really nice. It's like a really yummy cherry, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you think, and you get a nice black, well, it's cherry season at the moment, English cherries. We do have a cherry tree in the garden, but the birds have kind of pecked them all. But yeah, we like a good cherry, and it's pretty much like that. It's just really good. So do you want to do 10 grams into the? Yeah. So pop it in, squeeze the end, and then open it up, and then put it over the beaker and squeeze it in.
Can you tell me when it's 10 grams?
Yeah. Squeeze it all in. It's not going to be 10 grams yet. You're going to need at least a couple. Right, okay. I'll show you. Let me show you. This is 5 mils. So if you fill it up as much as you can like that, you only need about a couple of squeezes. So you're almost there. So you don't need to fill it up all the way now, because you're 7.5. So you only need about 2.5 left. Okay, put it over the scales, squeeze it in. I mean, some will be left in anyway, so if you have a tiny bit over, it doesn't matter. But we want to try and be as precise as we can, so that...
Can I take the glove off now?
Yeah? Hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My hand's sweaty.
So let's keep that for later. And what wick are we going to use? So for... my notes. For black cherry, oh yeah, actually, for black cherry, there isn't a recipe. There are recipes for pain au chocolat and coffee mocha, but I'm still going to use, obviously, the RCX wax, 10% fragrance oil. Maybe, I don't know why there's no recipe, maybe it just works, this one. It's so strong, maybe they're really powerful fragrances. So I'm going to use the CL8 wick.
I don't know what CL is.
CL
Is that a new wick?
Yeah, this is a new wick. So CL is cotton and linen. So far we've used TCR, Stabilo. Yeah, you need to get a... Let's move that off so you don't... If you get a dot... So we're reusing some old candle tins because... Oh, we're getting through a lot of tins otherwise.
What? Oh, candle tin.
Well, this is one we've used before, so it's got a bit of the old wax, but I think there'll be so much new stuff going in that that tiny bit's not going to affect. So if you try and get that really in the middle as best you can, and then we're going to have to get some wick centering tools.
You did buy the pen.
I did buy a pen. I was going to make one. Yeah, so I've got this kind of block of wood, and I drilled a hole through it all. And the idea is to put kind of a barrel of a biro pen. This won't work, Imogen, because it's too. There's nothing to hold the wick in.
Oh yeah.
But I need to drill the hole bigger because it's.
Oh look, there's a dot of wax in the middle.
Okay, yeah. So just stick it on as best you can. This is just a testing, so yeah. So as central as you can get is good enough. But eventually, we're going to want and to be quicker because it's really fiddly to kind of.
If you push down the tin, bounces.
Yeah, it's just thin metal, thin steel. So I might try and get a bigger drill bit, and then we can put. The idea was to use the barrel of this pen and put it through, and then you just donk it into the tin, and then the wick would be right in the middle. So I might do that, or you can actually get proper tools made with a spring-loaded middle bit to put your wicks in. So depending how we go, probably we need to get that, because if you're doing loads, that's just too slow. And we're doing this in our spare time, so we can't take too long. Once we get through the testing phase, hopefully, you know, we want to be making lots of sense, don't we? So whatever we can do to speed up. Anything you want to add?
No.
No? All right, well, we'll melt this down and come back when it's good to go. So while that's melting away, we thought we will get the other scents ready. So I'm going to do pain au chocolat next. So pain au chocolat, which is this one. All right. See what you think. You describe how it smells. You like it? Just smile on your face. Chocolatey. I think it's like a very bready, pastry, like croissant, chocolatey croissant. Quite sweet, very, very intense. But again, this is kind of concentrated oils, but careful you don't get too much of a whiff up your nose. Yeah? But it's really delicious, isn't it? Making me hungry. All right, so you're gonna turn the scales on. Just give it a little swirl. Don't want it to come out. And then do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
Yeah.
I'll do it. So you just want 10 grams. So you go like that, and it would just need...
It's like more yellow than that one.
It is. I guess there's different ingredients inside. It's going to smell... I think the thing with food candles, I'm going to be just really hungry sat in this room during a week while they're curing. We'll have to get the lids on. And there'll just be all these delicious scents coming out.
Like someone's cooking in the room.
Alright, that'll do.
Every day.
Okay, let me close that. We do not want a spillage of that. How's our wax? Just keeping
that table will smell like it forever.
Just keeping an eye on the temperature. Don't want to overheat the wax, because that might have been something we did wrong in the early stages. Although we did use a double boiler for the very first one, and it still didn't turn out. But with this, we can just make sure the bottom's not getting too hot. Right, the next fragrance is coffee mocha.
Can I smell?
Yeah, just let me tear the scales.
It smells like coffee beans.
Coffee beans? Does it smell like coffee tea? So do you know what coffee mocha is? No. Do you know what mocha is? No. It's kind of like a chocolatey coffee.
Yeah,
coffee
I
mocha.
Thought it smelled a bit like the chocolate in the pan.
I think it's a bit like caramel toffee, a hint of... And then some... Can you smell some vanilla? I'm gradually getting better at describing the smells, because it's... What else do you get?
Coffee.
And it's sweet, isn't it? It's a sweet coffee, chocolatey, toffee.
It's making
probably
me
not.
hungry.
Yeah, it's not. It's probably not like a really strong coffee, but it's quite nice, isn't it? Not just pure coffee, obviously. It's kind of like a milky, chocolatey coffee. So, which is good, because you'd expect it to smell of what it says it is. Right. So let's get this weighed out. Another 10 grams. Oh, and then you can do the wicking while I
want to do one squeeze.
You're right, do one squeeze. Just don't get it on your hands. I have to get you some small gloves. All right, just get it in there. But with the pipette, it's quite good, because there's no drips. Whereas if we just pour it in, it will drip everywhere.
It will drip down the bottom and touch your fingers.
Yeah, and we don't want that. And then it gets everywhere.
This one's like a little less colour than that.
Yeah, I think when we're doing more, then we'll need to pour it. But because we're just doing one of each candle, we don't need much oil.
Is that Jerry? I think I like the pain au chocolat better.
Do you?
Than everything else. Black cherry is very strong and...
Well, we have to see how it is when we have it in a candle, because we seem to have no problem getting cold throw. It's the hot throw that can be a bit elusive. No rubber band? Oh, no, I'll sort that out later.
But sometimes it doesn't matter if there's no cold throw. Because if it's hot throw, that's okay.
But if you're selling the candle to someone,
They might want it for the smell.
they usually how people choose a candle is, especially if they're there,
What the colour?
they want to smell it. You don't go, oh, that doesn't smell of anything, but okay, I'll take it. Someone might, but usually the cold throw is to get people to like smell the candle and go, oh, that's really nice. But
And want to burn it.
yeah, but what often happens is when you burn it, when you light it, that smell is not so great. It's either not there or very
It gets
weak.
people excited sometimes.
Yeah. But if you want people to come back and buy more candles off you, you want the smell to be good when it's lit. Otherwise, they'll be like, that's a bit rubbish, and then they won't come back.
And sometimes they might buy candles for people's presents.
Yeah, because when you're just smelling it at a store or somewhere, you can't obviously light it, so you're just going off the cold smell, the unlit smell, in the hope that when you light it, it's also going to smell good. So we need to make sure that and that's why we're doing all this testing. Obviously, we need to make sure they're safe as well, but we also want them to be really good. And these are small candles, so they're not going to obviously fill a big room. But I think people don't know that. When you buy a candle, you kind of just buy it maybe on price. So smaller candles are usually cheaper. So you just go, oh, I'll get that one to try. And I think sometimes if they're not very strong smelling, they don't really fill the room. I mean, this isn't really a massive room, but still this is more for small bathrooms and things. But if it's really powerful, then I think it doesn't matter. It's going to have enough oomph to...
If you put it in the bathroom, won't the water put it out?
Well, you don't obviously put it near like the tap or something. It's like if people are having a long bath, because you're supposed to burn a candle for the first burn 2 or 3 hours to let it melt fully. So I think that's quite a good long soak. It's not just like a quick shower and brush your teeth.
But we have to like test it for people so they don't have to burn.
Yeah, so we're
for
testing.
ages.
That's why we do all the testing to make sure it's going to work well.
Yeah.
All right. So while that's going, we'll do the wicks. Do you want to do the wicks? Get some more wick stickers. So this one, Pain au Chocolat, is going to have. Where did I write it? A Stabilo wick. Stabilo is currently my favourite, only because it works. So our very first.
And Stabilo is the favourite. It's my favourite saying of the wick. The favourite name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it because it's like not just like a not
Numbers.
not like letters and numbers? Yeah.
Not like TCR.
I don't know what TCR stands for. CL is cotton and linen. Stabilo is. These used to be called something else, but I think they've changed the names.
Stabilo.
But you will get used to them eventually. And again, it's good. It's good to have a couple of wick choices as well. For the same reason, if we can't get hold of one, we can get another one. And also, we're not using.
So hot.
Yes, let's start nicely this time. It's so hot. Well, you can go and go into the room if you want. Well, and I'll call you back when this is ready.
Okay.
That's why I thought we'll get everything ready so that when it's melted, add the fragrance oil, stir it in, pour it, set, and then we will. I don't know. Cure. I think 10 days. I know 14 days is supposedly the best, but if you're thinking in terms of we want to sell these things, that's a long time to wait after pouring, especially if you're doing like small batches. So I think I'm going to do 10 days. If it doesn't smell after 10 days, then I think it's probably not going to be the best. 7, eventually it'd be good to get it down to 7, but I think for this one, 10 days to cure. And we'll just do just one. There's not going to be a separate burning for the wick. We'll just go for it after the 10 days, light it and see. Yeah, the recipe I'm following is for like the votives, which I think is like a smaller size than this. This 4-ounce tin fits nicely 100 grams of wax, so it looks quite nice and full, and the lid can still go on. And 100 is an easy number to work with. And yeah, so that's the thing we're changing. The container's different, and because this container's a bit bigger than the candle shake recipe one, I've changed gone up in size with the wick, but used the same series where there is one, as the recipe. So we're mostly there, so it should work. Although I think our hit rate so far has not been great, but we'll see. This is why we're testing for you, to see how well the recipes work. Although strictly speaking, we're not following exactly the vessel, but because Imogen wants these tins, so the aesthetic's going to be kind of white. So eventually we'll do glass as well, but it'll be kind of the frosted white with, I think, a wooden lid. That kind of vibe she's gone for, with a nice pop of colour from the label. So it's no good us testing in a container we're not going to use, right? Because then if it works in that, great, but if you change container, it's going to be different again and you have to do the test all over again. So we're just going with it and we'll see what happens. So we're coming up to 60 degrees C on our wax, which is when we should add the fragrance oil. So you're going to do black cherry first, so we'll pop that on.
We put it into there.
Yeah, so we'll tear. Hang on, I'm going to add the. Stop that.
How much wax?
90. Oops, hang on. Just tear that again. Oh no, I'm getting carried away. We need to put it in here first to add the fragrance oil. Getting ahead of myself. Right, let's tear that again. So you see the wax there's like no smell. So it's a really good neutral wax for, it's just like oil, basically what it is, isn't it? What did I say, 90? When we're doing lots, we'll have to find a faster way. I think we'll just eyeball the level. Right, so you want to set a timer?
For 1 minute.
For 1 minute. Okay, ready? Are you going to pour the oil in? Or shall it? Okay,
Shall I start the minute?
Yeah, start it.
Now?
Yes. 1 minute of stirring they recommend, 60 seconds. So we'll gently, don't put lots of air in. And then every so often just pause, maybe go the other direction. Because you want the oil to mix in with the wax properly, yeah? So if you don't mix it nicely, it's not gonna work well. Okay, when that's mixed, okay, we can apparently pour at 38 degrees, so put another thermometer in there. Okay, I think that's gonna take a little while to cool, so we can do our next one. Which one do you do next? You do pain au chocolat or coffee mocha?
Pain au chocolat.
Pain au chocolat. Let's whack that on there. Pain au chocolat. So I'll do 100 grams of wax. If you start get your timer ready for a minute, please. What do you say? Pain au chocolat?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, 1 minute of stirring. Can you see it? Can you see it? Yeah, this one you can see. So you want to get it so it's not obvious, so it's all combined.
See my
yeah, it's can you see it's now the oil isn't so obvious. So you want to, that's why you got to mix it nicely, stir it nicely, because you want it all one. You don't want like a layer of oil and a layer of wax. You just want it all to be all together. Where's the, I think it's the yellow tin, the tin with the yellow. Yeah, oh, that's ready to pour. No, it's not, 38. Not used to pouring so cool, but we will just go with the recipe. All right. So that we need to now wait for 38 degrees. Oh, 3 minutes or something. Okay, and the next one is, can you zero your thing again?
1 minute.
Right, so this should be 100 grams left in here, roughly. We want 90, don't we? Which one did I pour 100 grams in?
I'm not sure.
Uh-oh, I think we've done...
It's probably this.
Yeah, I think that one. So we will need to calculate the percentage. Right, let's get a note. Oh no, because we can weigh the tin. So this one, Pan au Choc is 83, so this is going to be super strong. 83 grams. I think because of all the talking, I've gone and poured in. Actually, if we put them together, that one's a bit higher, isn't it? Yeah. Coffee is going to be a bit less than 10%. All right, you ready to time? Mm-hmm. I'm going to put in coffee mocha. Ready? Yep. Okay, start.
I can see it.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, that's dissolving in nicely, or mixing in nicely. So that is the danger of talking.
What's the danger?
While pouring. Well, if you're not concentrating completely on what you're doing, I forgot it because it's 90 grams of wax and we put 100 in that one. But it's okay. I think, yeah, if it's going to have a good smell when we light it, then yeah, being at 10% will definitely, I don't know, sometimes putting too much oil is no good. But I'll calculate it, we'll be thereabouts. How are we doing for time? That's time, right? And also normally we'll just be doing one batch of 1 cent. So
you have to wait for them to cool.
It's up to you. If you don't want to do the pouring, I can do it. You're getting hot, aren't you? Yeah, so I'll carry on. It's very warm.
I put the fan down.
Yeah, okay. Right, I'll carry on. So let's pour that in. I wouldn't really want to go much cooler than 38 to be honest, because it's already setting. So how is Pan au Choc 45, so that won't be long. So I'll pop that here. Right, so these are both at just under 41 degrees. So I'm going to pour this one now because I don't want Mocha to be poured too cool. So Pan au Chocolat is going in. So this is the one that's a bit less concentrated fragrance oil. Whoa, but there's still some crazy smells going on. We've got cherry, Pan au Chocolat, and coffee mocha, and it's lunchtime, and it's making me really hungry. Maybe I'll stop there. So I think with our lids, we do get a bit of headspace, but I don't want it to be too full. And the last one, just make sure the wick's centered. Yeah, that first one is setting already, so let's get these in. Coffee mocha. Oh, it is, once it's diluted, the smell is more realistic because it's obviously super concentrated in the bottle and really intense. So it's nice to get them into the wax, into the candle. I think it's going to be really fun following these along and checking the cold tray. So if you've watched this far, thanks a lot for sticking with us. Do consider giving us a like, and if you want to follow along our journey, please subscribe to be notified of our latest videos. I'm going to try and do about one a week. Obviously depends on life, but yeah, our idea is to bring you along with our journey, the highs and the lows, hopefully not too many lows, hopefully lots of highs. What we'll do next is, once these have cured, we'll do the burn test. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.